Hello. This video is about the compass and its relationship with human social interaction and economics. We don't often think of the compass as being that important in the history of the United States. We tend to talk more in our history classes about people and dates and countries rather than the instruments they used. But the compass was an instrument that has been and will forever be a key part of our country's defense, trade, and economics. Let's talk about some of the human interactions that have developed from the use of the compass in navigation. First, I want to talk about the Native Americans. When Columbus discovered the Americas, a wave of people came from Europe to settle here for various reasons, whether it be religious freedom or to find just simply a new life. The landing of these people and the further exploration of the land by use of the compass led to the eventual extermination of Native American life as they knew it. The exploration of the land drove the Native Americans eventually to reservations and isolated pockets of land in the United States that were designated by the white man. The compass also had a role in the founding of our country. Colonial soldiers used it to navigate the lands they were still not yet that familiar with. Also, on the water, colonial ships and British ships still used the compass to navigate the Atlantic. After we gained our independence, the compass was used to navigate the new land. The Louisiana Purchase gave us lands that stretched from the Atlantic to the Pacific. President Jefferson sent two of his friends and former Army officers, Lewis and Clark, to explore the new land. These men were certainly equipped with a compass. Their use of the compass in exploring the new land led to things far beyond what they imagined. The West was opened up to new settlements. 160 acres of land was given to anyone who would dare to go claim it due to the Homestead Act. The Homestead Act provided many opportunities for immigrants to come and have something that they'd never had before, land and a home of their own. This led to a flood of immigration to the United States. The compass was there in the captain's quarters and on the bridge of every ship that crossed the Atlantic with these new settlers to the United States. This influx of immigrants to the United States led to the culture that we know today. This culture is a mesh of many different types of languages and celebrations and food. As we know it, pizza is a common staple in the food of the United States. There's a pizza place on every corner. Pizza was introduced by the Italians. We also have different languages and different mixes of races of people that certainly make America unique in that fact. Economically, the compass has had a great effect on the United States and other nations around the world. Trade ships and airplanes carry cargo to and from different continents daily. Even back before the Revolutionary War, trade with Britain and other countries had a great impact on the colony. Today, container ships carrying millions of dollars worth of goods travels across the Atlantic and the Pacific daily. The airplanes that fly from continent to continent, who are owned by companies such as FedEx and UPS, carry goods on a daily basis, and overnight shipping is something that we tend to take for granted today. Now, all these ships and airplanes that carry this cargo still use the compass, whether it be the magnetic compass as discovered by the Chinese, or a gyro compass, which was developed in the early 20th century and does not use magnetic forces of the Earth, but rather uses the Earth's spin to get true north instead of magnetic north. The military uses the compass still. Our naval ships, our airplanes, our men in the field, they're all equipped with a compass. Our special forces men and women across the United States who go on missions behind enemy lines, they use the compass as a key part of their operation. Aerial photos and pictures are certainly studied before missions, But once on the ground, the compass is still the primary use of navigation for these men and women. If something goes wrong with their GPS device, which I'll talk about in a second, the compass has no electronic need. It has no need for electricity, and so it can still keep these men and women going in the direction that they need to go. Today we think of navigation and direction. We think of GPS. GPS, or Global Positioning System, is the use of satellites connected to a mobile device such as your handheld smartphone or a regular GPS receiver. We use these on a daily basis. If you think about tools such as the Magellan GPS system or VZ Navigator on my Verizon phone, or whatever your equivalent is of that, we have GPS and direction at our fingertips. Those all rely on electricity and electronic components. The compass, although it is somewhat outdated today, does not. It requires nothing but the magnetic field of the earth and the user having some sort of knowledge of how it works. The compass throughout the years, as I said earlier, has been very influential in how the United States is today. Our economic system depends on trade. Trade depends on the carrying of cargo, and that depends on direction, which ultimately depends on the compass. Our defense, our military men and women use the compass. Today, for fun and for enjoyment, there's such a thing as geocaching, which uses the compass and directions, also GPS, but still the compass and the cardinal directions for fun, for modern treasure hunts. Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts of America still use the compass today and teach these children how to use the compass and find directions in the wilderness. People such as people who go hiking and camping often use the compass for recreational use, to explore new lands that they've never been before and to get them safely back home. The compass is one of those instruments that everyone takes for granted, and I know I certainly did before the research for this project. It's funny to think about what might not have been had the compass not have been invented. What discoveries might not have been made. Maybe they would have been made, but not at that time. And certainly, as we all know, time matters in history. Grab a compass. There's all kinds of compasses available out there on the web. You can order a compass, or they're even in some cereal boxes and Cracker Jack boxes now. If you find a compass, they are very unique instruments, and they are fun to play around with. And the next time that you find one, think about all the people important in the history of the United States and the world before you that have picked up a similar instrument and used it to make great discoveries. Thank you.